Welcome back to Three Sisters. The next race is for the 11 to 16-year-olds in Minimax, and one of the favourites for this class is 14-year-old James Theodore from Telford. I visited James at home during the week to ask him what the Motors TV Challenge means to him. James, a two-time Dragon Masters winner as a cadet in 2003 and again in Minimax in 2004, winning the club championships at Glannygorse Park in the same years, but the Motors TV series offers a different sort of challenge for you this year. How would winning that compare to the titles you've won so far?
Well, for me, the Sport and Motors TV for this championship makes it probably the most prestigious club-based championship there's ever been in the UK. So I'd have to say it'd be the biggest achievement in my racing so far if I could win it.
Lots of competition out there for you in Minimax, but you did put down a strong message of intent in a blistering performance in the club championship round last month, breaking the lap record when winning by nearly 9 seconds in a 10-lap race. Now that's pretty much unheard of in karting. Can you repeat that sort of result this month?
Well, I hope so, but at this first round the grid positions are drawn at random, so a lot will depend on the draw. Not only in my grid position, but where the other experienced drivers end up as well. If I draw something in the top 16, then I could certainly win from there. Someone like Danny Murphy pulls pole position in the draw. I start in 16th, it'd make it difficult to win, but I wouldn't rule me out even if I draw last place on the grid.
You mentioned Danny Murphy there. He's a multiple club champion at Three Sisters and will undoubtedly provide stiff opposition, but who else should the viewers be looking out for this year?
Well, Joe Bullen's moved into the Class 1 TKM. I expect him to be a player at some point during the season. Of the rest, Ryan Denton possibly, and as much as I hate to admit it, there's some girls who have had some good results recently. Pippa Coleman, Sinead Gress, Josephine Ferrada. They've all got to be taken seriously.
Let's check out the grid positions then for Minimax. Joe Charlton's on pole, Tom Durbridge on P2, George Pike's drawn P3, and Jack Vanderpump just seen his brother in cadets, he's on P4. Hilling comes next on 5, then Batho. James Theodore's drawn P7, good draw for him. Chris Clayton's on 8. The Leckler Coatings cart will be driven by Joe Bullen, then comes Nick Barnes on P10, Isherwood's on 11, Josephine Ferrada driving for Advanced Composites on P12, Liam Morley's on 13, Ryan Longley 14, then comes Matt Gibson on P15, also driving Junior Gearbox this year, Roy Anderson 16, Sinead Gress down from Cumbria on 17, then comes Matthew Cresswell, Danny Murphy, the club champion last year, on 19, and Roy Gill rounding out the 20 karts for the second race of the day. This class Minimax sponsored by Dartford Karting. The drivers aged 11 to 16. Mind you, if you are 15 or 16 still racing in this class, you're probably on a diet of lettuce and slugs, as Joe Bullen gets bolted through turn 1, making up a place on Clayton as Josephine Ferrada down the outside, and Theodore already through to second place, started 7th. 3 turns and he's made up 5 places already. Charlton still has it from Theodore, and then Vanderpump then a top 3. Theodore up the inside of Charlton though, and he's going to have the lead on lap 1 from 7th. Bullen looking to put a move on 63. George Pike does so. Bullen up to 4th place then through the first part of Luna. 16 at the front of that little group there. In 6th place is Josephine Ferrada on the Advanced Composites kart. Josephine perhaps one of the most improved drivers this season, as we see Gibson up the inside of number 88, that's Hilling, and takes a chunk out of Tom Durbridge as well. So 2 places in that one corner for Matt Gibson. Theodore's advantage just over half a second as we see Bullen up the inside of Vanderpump for 3rd. It's Theodore that leads from Charlton, Bullen, Vanderpump, then comes Ferrada, Pike comes next, then Gibson, Hilling, Durbridge and Danny Murphy, last year's club champion, there he is, 23. He's up to 10th place, started 19th, so he's up 9 places already. That's Joe Bullen, he's driving the Leckler Coatings kart, representing Leckler Coatings this year, Joe Bullen. Vanderpump there, 77, is up from Waltham Abbey, goes to St John's School in Potters Bar, part of the Vanderpump racing setup. Saw his brother Sam earlier on. See Sinead Gress trying to make a move in the hairpin, 61 on the Tony kart. No joy at this time though. 60 in front of Gress is Matt Isherwood, that's 51. Joe Charlton. Charlton holding on to 2nd place. He's from up the road in Warrington. Closely hounded there by Bullen though. Vanderpump trying to keep them company. Bullen just about to deprive Charlton though of 2nd place. He does so. Charlton's dropped to 3rd out of the shot. 63 is Pike. Murphy's up to 9th. Gress making the move on Durbridge down the inside. Going with her is kart 29, that's Roy Gill on the Maranello chassis. Vanderpump deprives Charlton now of third place, so Vanderpump up to third, drops Charlton back a place to fourth. There's Ferrada 16, Gibson, they're clear of Murphy. Murphy now up to seventh place, then comes Pike in eighth. Down Rogerson's towards Luna. Charlton trying to put the move on Vanderpump, but Vanderpump holds on round the outside and Ferrada gets closer as a result. 47 Roy Anderson ploughing a very lonely furrow at the back of the field. He had an off in turn one on the first lap. Back with matters at the sharp end though. Vanderpump still third. Charlton looking to put a move on him. Ferrada looking to put a move on Charlton. Vanderpump third. Bullen's got a good 20 metres or so over this battle. Charlton down the inside at the hairpin surely. Yes, he does so. Standard move there. Ferrada looking to take advantage of Vanderpump's misery. Oh, contact between them. Vanderpump and Ferrada. That's allowed Charlton a couple of extra metres. Theodore well out in front. We've lost Chris Clayton and Sam's caught up with him in Parc Ferme. Sam?
Down in Parc Ferme with number 34, Chris Clayton. Chris, what happened?
Well, I got hung out to dry on the first corner at the beginning, and so a few came through then, and then as I went down near Luna, someone sandwiched me between two carts and ripped my nose cone off.
Okay, Chris, you'll be starting at the front of the grid next month. How do you feel about that?
That'll be good, that'll be really great.
The problems for Chris Clayton this month, but as Sam says, the championship leaders have to start last next month, so that will put Chris towards the front of the grid. You see a little battle there between Vanderpump, Charlton and Ferrada. Charlton defending the position. That's Joe Bullen representing Leckler Coatings on the Gillard chassis, still there in second place. 76 Ryan Longley going through the shop there. Josephine Ferrada representing Advanced Composites. Oh, we've lost Vanderpump! We've lost Vanderpump there as we went through out of the shot. Vanderpump has gone off all his own work through Luna. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but he's in the tyres. He's getting a push to get started again. Let's a quick look at Theodore, the leader. Then comes Bullen. There's a Ferrada, Charlton, then Gibson and Murphy. Gibson up to 5th, started 15th. Murphy started 19th, he's up to 6th place. 88 is Joe Hilling. Ferrada's still got that third place through Luna, but not for long. Up the inside is Charlton, takes the third spot back. That gap was between Bullen and Ferrada, 2.88 seconds. No longer though, it's now between Bullen and Charlton. Gibson there in 5th place, then comes Murphy in 6th. Theodore well out in front. Gap between Ferrada and Gibson, 4th to 5th, 2.39 seconds. Number 19 is Nick Barnes. Nick from Carnforth goes to the Lancaster Boys Grammar School. His best result was at the 2003 Dragon Masters when he finished as runner-up to James Theodore when they were both in the cadet class. James Theodore, of course, leading this race. 46 there is Stephen Batho, closely followed by car 88 Joe Hilling. Talking of James Theodore, Sam's caught up with James's mum Helen. Sam?
I'm on the grid with Helen Theodore. James has got a nice comfortable lead. How are you feeling?
At this point in time, I'm quite satisfied with where he is, but obviously there's a lot more laps to go and anything can happen.
How do you feel about the 15 lap race?
It's great to give them the opportunity of a good 15 laps. It gives everybody quite a good chance, but for me it's nerve-wracking.
Theodore slides up the inside of Vanderpump through the left-hander. Vanderpump's running again. So he had the off earlier in the day, so he's now been lapped, unfortunately. Charlton to Gibson, 4th to 5th, 1.49 seconds. Have to keep an eye on that because that gap is closing in a hurry. Theodore 99, 4 or 5 seconds clear. It's Vanderpump, he's been lapped. That's why James Theodore is so far clear. He's just set a new lap record, 42.231. Sam's got some news down on the dummy grid about Josephine Ferrada. Sam, what's the news?
Yes, she's just gone past me down the paddock, and I'm not absolutely certain, but it looks like she has a front right puncher. That's Josephine Ferrada on the Intrepid Advanced Composite car, the puncher of the front right tyre.
Thanks, Sam. Well, if that's right, she's still got some laps to hold on. Let's have a look. This is Ferrada just in front. She's still in 3rd place, closely hounded by Charlton. Oh, look at the rear wheel lift down the inside. This is the battle for 9th to 13th. That's headed by Gill, followed by Batho, Isherwood, Barnes and Hilling. We'll look at Ferrada's kart number 16 as it goes through Luna, bouncing on that front right tyre. That front right tyre is definitely flat. Sam was absolutely right. The gap between Charlton and Gibson is close to 0.22 seconds. Ferrada's still got 2 laps to hold on. Surely she can't do that with a front right tyre being completely flat. The gap between Theodore and Bullen has extended to 5.33 seconds. That race is over, but this one certainly isn't. It's Ferrada still in third place. 1.5 laps to hold on. 1 lap now as they cross the line as we rejoin it. Going round the outside is Charlton. I think he's hung himself out to dry there, has he? No, he hasn't. Gibson's still there. Ferrada still in third place. Oh, and Charlton's definitely hung himself out now. Gibson will help himself. Murphy will look for the spot down the inside as well. We've got another last lap thriller here. This one, though, is for third place. Gress in 7th place, and Murphy up the inside of Charlton. He's lost 2 places on the last lap. Ferrada's still in third, is she? No, Gibson's got it. Gibson down into third place, going into Luna. Well, it's been a great performance by Josephine Ferrada to hold on this long, quite frankly. She's still going to finish 4th, and that is a superb performance by her. Murphy comes through for 5th, and unfortunately for Charlton, he's dropped 2 places on the last lap. He'll finish 6th, but a good start to the season nevertheless. James Theodore's fastest lap, 42.231, a new lap record. Joe Bullen well behind, but well clear in 2nd place. Matt Gibson rounded out the podium. Ferrada a great effort to hold on for 4th. Murphy up to 5th from 19th. Charlton slips back to 6th. They're followed in by Gress, Morley, Batho and Gill. Here's what James Theodore had to say after the race.
Well, it was a good race obviously for me winning. Started 7th with Joe behind me and Matt in front of me. A bit cautious because Joe was going really well earlier. Got through the pack quickly, fortunately, got to the front and tried to power away.
Well, a comfortable win there for James Theodore. We'll be back after the break with a junior Rotax race and an interview with Apple Racing's Nico Angelides. See you then.